Okay, so now that I've listened to all his Okay, so now that I've listened to all of his albums, I have some theories on why people listen to him. Number one is raw emotion. His music is fucking trash and his performance is horrible, but it does display raw emotion to a degree that 99% of artists really don't do. Next is relatable topics. These are very relatable to like teenagers, if I'm being honest, or just immature adults. And then as his albums uh, go on, he does get more mature, so those topics do become, better. And like I said, still relatable. And the spoken word aspect of his music is something I don't really hear many people do, or at least do. Actually, that's it. I just don't hear people do that. But we won't know till we do some light advanced interrogation. Yay! Okay, after some light advanced interrogation tactics and a visit to Reddit, my theories were confirmed. Also, through doing some digging on YouTube and on TikTok, I found that a lot of Hobo Johnson fans say he isn't a rapper, that he's an artist instead. But he very much is a rapper. In fact, he calls himself a rapper in almost every album he has ever created. This is probably just racism because there's been a weird conversation thing about hip hop in the past few years. And it's really coming into resurgence to TikTok now, where a lot of people don't consider rappers artists, even though some of the greatest artists of this decade and even the 2010s were rappers like Kendrick Lamar, like J. Cole, Denzel Curry, Earl Sweatshirt, and Kanye, obviously. Old Kanye. But I'll save that for another video because it's too big of a topic. Something else I don't understand is why they would listen to worse versions of already existing songs. Like the entirety of For Your Eyes Only is every Hobo Johnson song. Like the entirety of like the entirety the entirety of For Your Eyes Only is every Hobo Johnson song has ever made, but better. And Mr. Morale is a better version of the more therapeutic type music that Hobo Johnson makes later in his career. Also, he try whenever he tries to get political, like whenever he tries to get political, other rappers have just done it better in every single way possible. But let's get a little broader with the comparisons rather than a one to one. Let's focus on conscious. Let's focus. Let's focus on the conscious rap aspect of his music, because as his discography goes on, it is a bigger and bigger part of his music. Let's start off by comparing it something that is. Let's start off by comparing it to something that is great but not groundbreaking. Born Sinner by J. Cole. This sophomore album explores the duality of man, temptation, fame, and J. Cole's personal sins slash mistakes. At this point in his career, J. Cole is still trying to prove himself to the world and even some of his idols, like Nas. Like Nas. Like Nas. On the song Let Nas Down, J. Cole says, I always believed in the bigger picture. If I could get them to. I always believed in the bigger picture. If I could get them, fellas, brothers, to listen outside my core, then I can open the door. Then I can open the door, reintroduce them to honesty, show them that they need more. The difference between the Pretenders and the Kendrick Lamars. J. Cole, with this one line, says he's trying to change the very nature of man. J. Cole, with this one line, says that he's trying to change the very nature of people. If he could get them to listen to his music, J. Cole, with this one line, says he's trying to change the very nature of people. If he could get them to listen to his music. On the. If he can get them to listen to his music. J. Cole, with this one line, says he's trying to change the very nature of people. If he could get them to listen to his music, he could help them, make them better in some sort of way. You know? On the other hand, anytime Hobo Johnson tries to get conscious, it's about how sad he is a girl left him, and he goes, well, that's life, then proceeds to ramble about socialism and the US government. And not in a good way either. I know someone who did do it good though, or did it well. I can't speak. He just Hobo Johnson just lacks the artistic capabilities to make me want to listen or even care about anything that he says. Like, for example, on a song like Folding Clothes, on a song like Folding Clothes, J. Cole talks about leaving the fast life to live something a lot simpler, safer, and how he's giving it up and how he's actively working harder to deinstitutionalize? Is that a word? Deinstitutionalize? I don't know. He's trying to rehabilitate himself into the world again and to be with his wife and daughter. The album is from the perspective of one of J. Cole's dead friends. So it's not J. Cole saying that, it's from the perspective of his friend. But that is that song itself holds so much more deeper meaning, even if people do find it corny, it holds significantly deeper meaning than really 99% of Hobo Johnson's discography in general. Did Yeah. It's And even sonically, J. Cole just keep it there. Keep it there. Cut off the rant. In conclusion, well, Hobo Johnson is just a bad artist. Not because he lacks creativity. He's a very creative artist, but he just lacks in execution. He refuses to put the work in. There's an 11-year difference between 94 Corolla and Hobo Johnson Drinks. And there is minimal improvement. A lot of the songs he made could have been hits if he just worked on his vocals and just became a better writer over time. That's not to say he didn't make at least a handful of good songs. I think there's two songs of his that I enjoy. If I wasn't brainwashed at the time of listening to him, because it was literally just days of listening to Hobo Johnson. His entire music career, cut that out, cut out music career. If you are a Hobo Johnson fan, stop. Just stop. Stop doing that. If you want to listen to something that's good but still on that personal level of Hobo Johnson, go listen to KOD or Mr. Morale. That's really just like those are significantly better alternatives. Significantly. Please listen to better music. This was the worst experience of my entire life. My friend wanted to blow his brains out after just 4 songs, and I listened to like 70 of them multiple times. Yep. Okay, a little post credit rant. Okay, if you made it to the end, please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it a lot. And a little post credit rant. Um, I went on a date a few weeks ago when I first started this video, and I talked to a girl, and we're talking about music, and why we listen to music, or just what specifically we listen to about. Wait, what? Specifically, what we listen to and why, right? And she said that she thinks that music helps heal her soul a little bit, and I think that's a really, yeah, like me too. I could also relate to that. If music heals your soul, Hobo Johnson did irreversible damage to my soul. I'm gonna go listen to every Outcast album to heal my soul from this bullshit. So yeah, yeah. Goodbye.